219-845-1100. Let's go to Pete on line 1. Hey, Pete, you're on with Carl Lisik. What's up?
Well, number one, let me point out that those cars were not free. The taxpayers bought those cars and gave them to those cities. And here again is another classic case of the government interfering with private enterprise, rushing to market a technology that has not been proven. You know what? Let the free market work. If people want electric cars, there will be a demand for them, and the technologies will develop. No, the government, just like these windmills, they got to rush in, put huge incentives on there, because without the incentives, nobody's buying them. I don't know if you know this, but the General Motors just laid off their second shift at their Chevy Volt plant because nobody's buying these cars except the government.
Okay, hold on a second. So, Pete, your point is that the government should not grease the chute for this, that they should lay off entirely. Let's hear what Carl has to say. Thank you. Carl?
Thank you, Pete, for your comment. You know, again, we're fuel neutral. We're promoting anything that's going to reduce dependence on foreign oil, Jim. I mean, and again, we're trying to work with our communities, work with our businesses to bring, you know, facilities, opportunities to northern Indiana, and really to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. So anything, you know, if these things are available to northern Indiana, you know, our feelings are that we should be making people aware of these activities and taking advantage of these things to bring them to our communities, to our businesses, and to the citizens of Indiana.
You know, to his point about the, you know, basically grants and so forth funding alternative energy in general. I mean, obviously that's somewhat of a hot topic in the media right now. Do you hear a lot of, you know, that kind of comment towards what you guys are doing?
We have had tremendous growth with clean cities throughout the nation, and again, you know, being fuel neutral, promoting all the alternative fuels, and we're not saying one's better than the other or saying you know, that this is the way we have to go. We just support things that are going to lessen our dependence on foreign oil for Indiana and for the United States.
219-845-1100. Let's go to Lee on line 1. Hi, Lee.
How you doing, guys? You know, this thing, these electric cars, as someone who's worked as an electrician in that over 40 years, they're impractical on a large scale. They're okay as a novelty or something like that, but if you think everybody that's on the road now is going to be plugging in an electric car, where are you going to get the electricity from? You know, you got a president in office right now that's shutting down power stations. He hates coal-burning plants. Could you imagine what that's going to do to the electric rates when everybody in the world is powering up, is, you know, charging their electric cars?
All right, hold on.
Hold on, Lee. The grid itself is actually overstressed right now. You know, electric cars are never going to work on a large-scale basis. As a novelty or as a niche little kind of thing, yeah, they might work, but on a small commuter-style, small radius type of travel might work, but a more practical way is liquefied natural gas. We've got tons of natural gas that this country produces. It burns clean, and a car can run for, you know, 500,000 miles.
All right, hey Lee, hold on a second.
Sure.
You got a lot in there.
Okay.
Just hang on and listen. All right, let's go to his first one. Where are you going to get the electricity from?
We're going to get it from, you know, again, locally here, it's going to be produced by NIPSCO, and pretty much as NIPSCO had pointed out when they were on our show, that they are going to be utilizing wind and renewable energy to power these vehicles for electric cars.
Okay, now you have, I think, amongst these papers, there's like a plan or something about some of these stations being implemented in some areas.
We do have a plan, Jim, and again, you know, we are looking for public input. This is not a monopoly. That's why we want people to get involved with this. We are actually we're developing a plan.
Yeah. And I mean, part of the issues is where do you charge them right now, right? And so, I mean, you're looking at right now, where are you going to put those in, or what?
Pretty much, you know, again, like, you know, some of the callers have said, this is new technology. You know, pretty much what the studies have shown, that the majority of charging is going to take place at home. And again, this is not going to replace a diesel truck. It's not going to replace gasoline cars. This is somewhat, you know, majority of people drive to and from work 40 miles. And again, the practical application for an electric vehicle is just that, you know, commuters that travel to and from work that can actually charge the car at home, you know, go to work and then come back and charge their vehicle at their home.
What about the attitude, I guess, of the last two callers that are extremely doubtful about the success of I guess, electric cars, or even the Volt, which I think is isn't that a hybrid? It's a hybrid. So that, even that, I mean, do you run into that kind of thinking? I mean, or is that kind of part of the whole plan of South Shore Clean Cities, is to work
again,
on
Jim,
thinking?
you know, I think it's change. We're looking, as America, we're changing. Again, when you start looking at the price of the import of fuel, and again, you know, we're reluctant to talk about what's going on overseas. You know, what are we fighting for? And you know, I look at my heroes, the people that are fighting for our country, and you know, it's my belief, and I wouldn't say this is Department of Energy's belief, but you know, it's my belief that, you know, anything that we can do to reduce our dependence on foreign oil is important, not only to, you know, Indiana and to America, but the future of you know, our youth.
Let's go to the phone lines, 219-845-1100. Let's go to George on line 3. George, you're on with Carl Lisik.
Good morning. Good morning. First of all, I just wanted to make a comment about proven technology. My dad and I used to listen to the Cubs on a solar-powered radio back in 1964. NASA's been using that kind of technology since the 50s. It's proven technology. It just isn't commercially available. On the subject of electric cars, I was wondering whether your program is involved in providing charging stations, because I think that's the one hitch in this whole thing. If you do happen to have an electric vehicle, there's really no place but home to charge it. And is there some kind of plan to kind of increase the number of charging stations?
All right, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know, basically what's transpired is we are working with NIPSCO, and NIPSCO is rolling out their plan for electric charging stations.